Okay, so we're back and you guys can hear me. Wow. Okay guys, I went off on so many tangents. I started off talking about how I watched the Joy Luck Club this weekend. How there was like from the 90s to like the early 2000s, there was a significant dip into like other actors and actresses or shows based off of different cultures in America, like Asian culture, and all that. And then I started going off on a tangent about, or I started getting into my topic about, what was going on with Sydney Sweeney and Sabrina Carpenter, and how I'm over here talking about hashtag FFFFFF women on a Sunday evening. And normally I don't do this as like I don't normally do this as a treat or like for funsies. Like, it has to be something really serious to get me out of my element to talk about white women on a Sunday night when I have work the very next day. So something is obviously upsetting me that I have to get out, right? I'm gonna make another photo asking people, or another story on my TikTok asking people to come join this live, because this is the live I need people to be on. Oh, hi Cole. Hi. I'm glad you can hear me now. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I have work tomorrow, Cole. So I'm not gonna try and spend too much time here, but I'm going to spend enough time to get my point across. All right. So let me make another little selfie vid and post it on. Oh, nobody saw it. Nobody saw it on TikTok. Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do have work, Cole. I have like a couple of weeks left with this job before they finally cut the axe, and so I'm just our team is just finishing up some last minute things on the roadmap before we leave. But I figured that I would schedule. Ooh, whoa. Shit. Sorry guys, I figured that I would schedule my streams on Fridays and Sundays for now, just for the sake of having a day in between. It's, for me, I'm realizing very early on, it's very difficult for me to stream like one day after the other. I need a day in between for like a break, right? And especially if I'm going to be doing it 4 hours at a time. So I am trying to figure out what schedule works for me. Right now, I'm sticking with Fridays and Sundays, seeing how that works. But it might move to Fridays and Wednesdays, or maybe Mondays and Wednesdays. I don't know. I'm just trying to find a schedule that kind of sticks to me. So yeah, while I do that, I am going to just experiment with different ways to stay consistent on here. I know I haven't been posting my traditional YouTube videos, and I will get to it. But as of right now, I am not really trying to I'm just trying to like get into the swing of like a consistent schedule as a content creator. Like, what schedule is consistent for me? You know what I mean? So with that in mind, we're going to get back into this conversation I had on my other live that was mute, that nobody said anything for except for Cole and Heaven. Thank you guys so much. Because I have to figure out a way to kind of portray my point to you guys as to why I'm ranting about these white women on a Sunday. Okay. All right. So we're going to go right on the list of what's on the thumbnail, right? We're going to talk about the Sabrina Carpenter's album cover, and we're also going to talk about how Sydney Sweeney is selling bathwater. And I'm going to give the context and everything and all the details and whatnot. And we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Okay. Let's start with Sabrina Carpenter. So we got Sabrina Carpenter. Y'all know who she is. Short and sweet. That's that me espresso. Her tickets were like $500. I really wanted to go see her, but not for $500 at the State Farm Arena. Like that just wasn't that wasn't gonna happen. That like those tickets are way too expensive. I haven't even seen Beyonce yet. There was no way. There was just no way. So with that in mind, Sabrina Carpenter has gotten herself into some controversy about the next album that she's coming out with, and in particular her album cover. A lot of people are not a fan of the way her new album cover looks after post Short and Sweet, right? I said this was her second album cover. I'm wrong. Sabrina Carpenter has been around here for a minute. I don't know if this is like her third album cover, maybe, because she came out with Nonsense, then she came out with Short and Sweet, and then before Nonsense or Emails, deleted emails or whatever, the one where the Nonsense song is on, the album where the Nonsense song is on, she came out with a few other songs too. So she had her Eyes Wide Open album, her Evolution album. Okay, cool. Singular Act 1, Singular Act 2. So she's kind of been in the game for a minute. So post Short and Sweet, we have Man's Best Friend. Okay, post Short and Sweet. All right, we have Man's Best Friend, this album right here. And as you can see here, Miss Carpenter is on her knees on all fours, emulating a dog, while a man is grabbing her by the top of her hair. Okay? And a lot of controversy has come from this. A lot of women on the internet are saying how they are not a fan of the way Miss Carpenter looks on this current album cover. Women are saying, if anything, from Sabrina Carpenter is over-sexualizing herself for an audience of mostly young female women. I will be right back. My sushi has came. 1 second. Okay, my sushi has come, guys. All right, so Short and Sweet, Man's Best Friend, this new album, sushi has come. Okay, so a lot of people are saying how a lot of women are saying that they are concerned about like this current era of Sabrina Carpenter, because it does feel like she is in fact over-sexualizing herself in a way that isn't really empowering women or sexually liberating women as much as it is degrading women. And she is positioning herself in a way where she is always in some way, shape, or form trying to center men. The Short and Sweet album was mostly about her issues with dealing with men. Man Child is also another song with her frustrations dealing with men as well. And I see this argument around a lot of Gen Z that it gets kind of tiring when you have an artist who's constantly centering their sound, centering their image, their music around the consumption of men, but you're not positioning yourself in a way where you're the main character and you're not reacting to the behaviors of these men, but they are the NPCs of your story and of your image and of your brand. And I guess the argument that a lot of people on the internet have seemed to be making about Sabrina Carpenter is that she is not, it seems as if her music is centering men, or is talking about men in a way where she's centering them, and she's like obsessed with them and how she can get access to them and how they affect her after it doesn't work. That seems to be like the whole argument about Sabrina Carpenter. And especially in this current album, it's holding a little bit more true. So a lot of people on the internet have been saying it holds a little bit more true, because now she is literally positioning herself as a literal dog meant to serve a man that is off camera, right? And I personally kind of understand what she's doing here. It's kind of a play on of like being like man's best friend, you know. That's why the name of the album is called Man's Best Friend. That's why she's like on her knees like this, right? I also really think it's very creative that she is coming off in a way where, you know, she's pushing this image of her wanting to be man's best friend, or women are constantly trained and groomed to be the best friend of men, to be palatable to men, to serve and soothe men in a way that a dog does. But as soon as we don't do that, or we do something that they don't like, we're immediately called bitches, which is another term that you would call what? A female dog. I think it's pretty clever, okay? And then a couple weeks back, Sydney Sweeney decides to sell her bathwater. I guess she's doing this campaign with Dr. Squatch bathwater bliss bar of soap, right? Like, okay, so she's doing this campaign with Dr. Squatch bathwater, or Dr. Squatch soap. All right. And I don't know, Sydney Sweeney's career is very, very interesting to me. As I mentioned before, she kind of got her star or claim to fame on Euphoria as Cassie Howard. And, you know, she was really able to cement herself as a fan favorite. And then from there, since Euphoria keeps having unrealistically long hiatuses, she has been picking up other work. However, the type of work that Sydney Sweeney has been picking up kind of doesn't make sense to, like, in my opinion, never really made sense to the type of actress that she was trying to be. I know that she's taking up a bunch of brand deals. Like, she's taking up, I've seen her in perfume campaigns for Prada. Now she's doing this thing for Dr. Squatch, the soap campaign for Dr. Squatch. It really doesn't, I'm kind of confused as to what direction she wants her career to go into. It seems like she's trying to take the Margot Robbie route, where she's trying to take a couple of like sexualized roles in the beginning, and then she wants to break away from that and prove herself as a serious actress. However, it doesn't seem to be cementing, you know, like she'll do roles like that horror movie that what's the name of that horror movie? Immaculate. She'll do roles like Immaculate, right? And then she'll veer off back into this, selling bathwater. And I think this especially holds true on Saturday Night Live, when they kept making a bunch of skits around Sydney Sweeney and her, like, her body, and like how people treat her because of her body, because, you know, she's pretty well endowed. She got big boobs, you know. And I started hearing conversations about Sydney Sweeney and the way she chooses to present herself in the media and in entertainment. As soon as that SNL skit came out, as soon as people started realizing that she was like over-sexualizing herself a little bit, which I never really saw anything wrong with it. It just is what it is, you know. But people were like worried and concerned because, you know, she's presenting herself as a sex symbol to men. However, she's doing so in a way where they don't really respect her. And a good example of this is her upcoming role in the Christy Martin biopic. She's gained a ton of weight for that role. And I guess this is supposed to be like her big debut as like a serious actress. And as soon as people started seeing images of her like prepping for this role and changing like her body up and changing her size up and all of that, gaining weight, a lot of men were angry because like now she no longer looks attractive to them anymore. You know, she's gained weight, she's covering herself up. She's no longer showcasing herself as the consumption for the male eye. And so she got a lot of backlash from it. And so a lot of the argument behind Sydney Sweeney and the way she chooses to sexualize herself is that she is sexualizing herself to a group of men who do not really respect her as a person, as long as she is sexualizing herself in a way that they can enjoy. So with that in mind, she's doing this Dr. Squatch soap campaign, and apparently her bathwater is in the soap, I guess. I don't know. I guess her bathwater is in the soap. I don't really know. And a lot of women were in the uproar of her selling her doing her campaign while having her bathwater in the soap, and, you know, kind of hinting at like doing like a sense of like sexual favors for men, all right, or like a version of S work for a lot of people were mad at that. They were upset at that. And I think the main argument behind both Sydney Sweeney here and Sabrina Carpenter here is not so much that they're sexualizing themselves, but why are they sexualizing themselves and positioning themselves in a way where they are meant for the consumption of men and not in a way where they are decentering said men that they are meant to be consumed by. And I think that's like the biggest argument that people are having on the internet about both celebrities. A lot of these arguments are coming from the decenter men movement. If you guys don't know what that movement is, it's basically a new trend on the internet where women are choosing to opt out of the gaze of men, of being sexual objects for men, of seeking out the approval for men, or just seeking out love, interest, and making their entire brand over obtaining relationships or love from men. That's basically what it means. Like, we have hobbies outside of obsessing over men. And, you know, in hindsight, like textbook details, like, it's not that bad. It's really not like that bad to encourage women to focus. It really wasn't. It's not that bad for women to be encouraged and focus more so on themselves and building hobbies instead of obsessing over love interest. Personally, I'm of the belief of any gender not obsessing over the opposite sex, and to focus more so on themselves and their hobbies, and then eventually like a partner will come through that, you know, they deem worthy. Like, I think that's pretty okay. My issue with the decenter men movement is that I think it's trying to do something. I think it's, let me pull this up because I'm gonna explain it. All right. My problem with the decenter men movement is that they end up being no better than the people that they are trying to go against. Okay, decenter men, I think, likes to position themselves in the far left-hand side of you know, a woman's role or how women would like to be perceived by the world, where they are encouraging women not to focus all their time and their energy on sexualizing themselves, on obsessing over, on being consumed by the male gaze, right? And then on the far right side, you have like the purity culture version of that, where it's like we are focusing on trying to obtain a husband, trying to be demure and mindful and submissive enough so we can obtain a provider man, a husband to take care of us. Does that make sense? And so you got both concepts. You got decenter men, fuck you niggas over here. I can't say that. Fuck you ninjas over here. And then we're in favor of men, pick me, choose me, I need a provider man over here, right? And the problem is that while both images are off, both ideas of how a woman should present themselves are on like the opposite end of the horseshoe, what ends up happening in these movements, especially when you're not having intersectional conversations about womanhood, femininity, and all of that, is you end up meeting yourself at the center, where you ultimately end up in some way, shape, or form trying to cause more harm than good towards the women that you are encouraging to either be in consumption of or decenter men, right? In a way that you are ultimately shaming, disregarding, or not listening to the women who choose to push themselves in a way that you perceive as being for the male gaze. I hope I cooked with that. I hope I'm making sense. I'm going to read what Cole said. It was never a problem to talk about her body until she acknowledged it. Now they're mad because she's getting gains, but the bathwater, that's where you lost me. Yeah, Cole, it's very interesting with Sydney Sweeney. It was never bad when she talked about it. We're going to get into it because I have some thoughts. Because I can see why people would be upset about her wanting to sell her bathwater. But the reason why I would think people would be upset isn't the reason why people are upset currently at her right now. It's for a completely different reason, and I'm going to get into it in just a bit, Cole. But more specifically, for right now, I'm not gonna lie, with all of the arguments and all the takes I've been seeing about Sydney Sweeney, about Sabrina Carpenter, about how women choose to sexualize themselves in a space and in an industry that is incredibly ruthless to women no matter how they choose to show up, I personally feel like the decenter man movement meant well in the beginning and is now imploding into some iteration of like woman red pill adjacent femcel type of bullcrap that is really out here to kind of destroy how women should be perceiving themselves instead of making them feel better. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. Okay, I'm gonna take a bite out of my sushi and I'm gonna explain in just a second. Okay, so let me turn off my camera. Okay, so these sushi pieces are huge. I wonder if I can show you guys. Hold on, let me show you guys. Sushi. I tried this place. It's called Sushi Nova in Atlanta, so hopefully it's good, but we'll have to see. I'm so obsessed with sushi, bro. What am I gonna do when I'm unemployed? I am a mess. Okay, let me turn off the camera. Hello. Hi, Heaven. I saw your message. Yeah. Okay, so Heaven has said after Belle Delphine, someone selling their bathwater is such a non-issue, at least to me. It's like, okay, another celebrity, another product. Yeah. And so here's the thing. The reason why I'm not so upset at Sydney Sweeney like selling her bathwater isn't because she's doing so in a way that is for, you know, men, and in a way where she's trying to pander to the male gaze. That's not why. The reason why I'm kind of like annoyed by Sydney Sweeney selling her bathwater, and in the same way I can kind of be annoyed at Sabrina Carpenter for, you know, I don't know, wearing the pleaser heels, and you know, in the way that I would also be disappointed in some of y'all's favorite rappers, I'm not going to say who, maybe I will, kind of selling and promoting like this silly city girl type of lifestyle, or like this escort type of lifestyle, if we're going to be serious about it, is that they tend to dibble and dabble into this aesthetic when it benefits them and when it benefits their brand. When it no longer benefits them, or they want to do a shift of some sort, they tend to discard of said aesthetic, like they completely discard of it, move on, and you know, find something else to rebrand themselves with. Meanwhile, the women who are actually out here doing S-work type of things, for example, Sabrina Carpenter, she's wearing pleaser heels. Who normally wears pleaser heels? Strippers, right? Exotic dancer. Sydney Sweeney is selling her bathwater. Who got famous off of selling her bathwater? Belle Delphine. Now, I personally have my issues with Belle Delphine. Not so much about the bathwater, but about other things. She definitely pandered to young men with she definitely pandered to men with like PDF file tendencies with the way she chose to present herself, right? Especially in like a lot of her fashion and aesthetics. Like she would dress up like she was a 12-year-old girl, and I found that creepy, being that she was a fully grown woman. However, these are things that S-workers do, swipers do, where they don't get the same amount of protections as a lot of these famous celebrities do when they dibble and dabble into these things and throw them away when they want to change their brand up or change their image. A lot of celebrities like to use S-work type of activity to push their brand or to push their agenda, and then when it no longer benefits them, they can let go of that image. They can shed that image and move on. This especially this especially holds true for white women as well, right? However, the women who actually dibble and dabble in this stuff, the women who do wear the pleaser heels, I'm pointing to Sabrina Carpenter, or pleaser heels when they strip, or when they're strippers or escorts, or when they do sell their bath water, maybe, or if they're OF girls or whatever. A lot of them don't get a lot of protections. A lot of them are shamed. A lot of them are disregarded or seen as taboo, or a lot of them are seen in this new wave of woman empowerment, decenter men movement as, you know, being a pity party. Or being a point of concern for a lot of like the decenter men people, right? And like, that's my problem with Sydney Sweeney. It's not so much that she's selling her bathwater, I could care less. It's that she is dibbling and dabbling into something that she has like no experience in being in, and no history of being in, for the sake of pushing her brand, and will easily dispose of it when it no longer benefits her, or when she wants to move to a more serious role like this boxing role that she has here. Meanwhile, women who actually dibble and dabble into this stuff, they have no protections. They are shamed, and you know, they are seen as charity cases in some aspects. Yeah, Heaven. So Heaven says, so it's using sex work adjacent stuff to help themselves and leave everyone else into the, yes, it's exactly that. They're using S work adjacent stuff to help themselves out and leave everybody else in the dust, or at least not talk or speak on the realities of being an S worker. And I mean, these women aren't the only ones who've done it. Megan Thee Stallion has done it, and I love Megan Down. All right, I love Megan Down. I do. Okay. But like, that is something that she's done, especially in the song WAP with Cardi B. Who else did it? Cardi B has especially done it. Right. And she used to be a stripper. However, she stopped. She didn't have to be a stripper anymore. She didn't have to do it anymore. And she stopped and she quit. But like, you listen to a song like WAP, and, you know, she's a married woman. Granted, like, whatever happened with her and Offset is like, you know, their business. Right. But like, she is in fact a married woman, and she's talking about like S work adjacent things. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring. Okay. And like I said, that could be harmful to actual S workers who actually work in this industry and are mistreated horribly by the media, horribly by entertainment, literally used as objects, even though they are objectifying themselves. There has to be, I keep saying this in my whenever I'm talking to myself, I keep saying this monologue of, there needs to be an intersectionality between S workers who are in it because they genuinely think it's fun, right? Like, so like erotic artists, S workers who are in it because of the money, and S workers who are in it because of out of survival. There has to be an intersectionality between all three, because I think now with how purity culture is running rampant and encroaching in every single space, I think people are failing to realize that multiple things can be true as at once. Like, there's like shades of gray in everything. When I was doing OF, at one point it was really, really fun. I did enjoy it. And then I stopped doing it because it was no longer fun. And I would almost argue that in both instances, I felt empowered at one point, and then when it no longer felt empowering, I quit. And I think there is something to be said about that. And that in and of itself, having the autonomy to know when you want to do something and be ready to do something out of curiosity, enjoying it, and then quitting on doing something when it no longer benefits you. Right? I think there is something to be said about that in and of itself being sexually liberating. Right? And the whole conversation of sexual liberation, if it's a thing, if it exists, if it doesn't, I think it can exist, but I think there's a lot of nuances that go behind it. In the same way, there's a lot of nuances as to why someone would start an OF, as to why someone would be a stripper, as to why somebody would like to push themselves in the gaze of men versus like decentering them, right? Which leads me to my next topic about decentering men, okay? This movement is toxic. This movement is very, very, very toxic, and I'm going to explain why. I am not a fan of the decenter men movement because it is teaching women to have a heteropessimistic viewpoint towards men, and teaching women to have more of a hatred for actual men than they do patriarchy, while in the same breath leveraging patriarchy to their benefit in these decenter men movements, only to their benefit to help them out, but not unpack why patriarchy is not unpack the reasons why patriarchy is giving literally everyone the short end of the stick. When I say that a lot of people who honor like the decenter men movement are more obsessed with their hatred towards men than actual patriarchy, what I mean is that okay, let me think this through. All right, let me think this through. Is that the same women that encourage to stop, or that are encouraging people to stop centering men in their life, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I do believe that you need to center yourself before you center anybody else. The same women that do this, right? Like the big talking points, the thought leaders that do this type of stuff, are also encouraging toxic behaviors or toxic viewpoints of men, such as like they're incapable of emotion, they're incapable of love, they're savages, they're awful human beings, this, that, and the other. And I would say in a society, thanks, Cole. Cole says she agrees it's a bit of a distraction to a systemic issue. Yeah, I agree too. And I think in a society, especially where we have like controversial shows like Adolescence coming out and like, you know, young boys easily falling into certain pipelines, I think trying to make men a villain in a system where it already tells them that they are meant to like fight, and they are meant to harden up and not be emotional, not express emotion, portray this version of masculinity that aligns with, you know, straightness and whiteness that not every single man can obtain, and being ostracized when they can't obtain that. I feel like it is incredibly harmful to also encourage women in the name of decentering men to enact these same mannerisms onto men without being like, no, patriarchy sucks, we need to break this down and figure out a way how we can all benefit from this. It's creating girl cells or femme cells out of women, right? It, like I said, it's the red pill adjacent for women. It is these women empowerment spaces, these decenter men spaces, they are red pill adjacent content for women. And you take in this content piecemeal and you think, oh, I broke up with my boyfriend, this is awful, you know, I'm trying to get over it, I'm trying to cope with, my boyfriend not being in my life, and I need some encouraging words. And like, at first they can be very encouraging words to teach you how to avoid, falling into the trap of obsessing over a man. But where it starts to get incredibly harmful, like, and incredibly dangerous, is when you are listening to the same like pillar talking heads of like the decenter men movement, of the sprinkle movement, of like the how to leverage men to your benefit movement, right? You are listening to these men, these creators, like hours and hours on end, right? Something I never understood about the decenter men movement or the sprinkle or the women empowerment spaces, is that a lot of the creators, the content creators who enter into these spaces, spend hours upon hours, video after video after video, content after content, clip farm after clip farm, talking about men. They're talking about men that they are encouraging you to decenter yourself from. Like, they spend hours and hours on, do you not find that weird? Like, if you were truly in the business of decentering men and truly in the business of not giving a shit about men in your life and focusing on other things, you would not spend hours and hours, live streams on end, talking about this shit, talking about how men are incapable of love, talking about how women have more power than men, talking about how women need to leverage their privileges in order to get men to do things for them, talking about, like, do you not see how weird that is? That's weird. You are no better than the pick-me girl trying to coach a bunch of women on how to obtain a provider man and teaching you how to water yourself and be a God-fearing Christian woman. You are no better than that woman. You are just as bad. You are just as worse. It's not good. And so you have a bunch of women out here who are like, decenter men are bad. But then we get to like the horseshoe theory, right? We get to this, right? Where they're so far left of men suck, men are awful, right? They're not saying patriarchy sucks or patriarchy is awful. They're not saying the system put in place to isolate men, to not encourage men to build community, to grow, to be healthier, to self-actualize, and to be kind human beings. They're not encouraging that. They're just saying all men awful, all men bad, all men savages, all men incapable of love, decenter them now. Over here on the far left, right? Okay, then you got a girl who is actually, or somebody who is actually attainable to the male gaze. Like, men like to look at them, they like to consume them, right? Whether that be Sydney Sweeney or Sabrina Carpenter or your friendly neighborhood S worker, OF girl, Bonnie Blue. I don't know a lot about her, so I'm not going to put her in this conversation. And I also think she's a weirdo, so we're going to discard her for a minute. Think of any other S worker who's meant for the consumption and enjoyment of men, right? Or any girl who is just portraying herself in a way where like men enjoy it, right? For a means of entertainment or sexual nature, right? And then you end up being concerned or fake concerned because you do not care so much about the field of work that she's in, that she is an S worker, that it's a very dangerous industry, that she can be exploited very easily. You're more concerned about, well, why is she doing this for men? You're not concerned about the actual system of S work, harming S workers and not providing protections for them. And you're more concerned about, well, I don't understand why she's selling her bathwater if these men hate her. She's not a girl's girl. She's not for us. She's the ultimate pick-me. A lot of y'all also don't know what pick-me means. Like, y'all are just like weaponizing pick me back and forth. I would even also argue that the decenter men women show some version of pick meism because they're almost mirroring the I'm not like the other girls type of women. Like, I'm not boy crazy like the other girls. I don't care about, you know, girly, effeminate things, socially effeminate things like the other girls, right? And then ultimately you end up mirroring what the far right likes to do, which is like how to be a more submissive, demure, mindful woman for your potential husband. And at the end of the day, when you come to the center, it ends in some form or version of shaming other women who are being consumed by other men and acknowledging that and leveraging it to their benefit to make money, right? In the name of, oh, well, I'm just concerned. I'm just worried. Well, she's not a girl's girl. She's not for us. She's not for us. She's not a girl's girl. And it's like, first of all, the girl's girl argument is stupid. A lot of us are not girls' girls. A lot of y'all are not girls' girls. Okay, okay, all right, like a lot of us aren't. Because if we were, we would be telling a lot of women that like the decenter man movement and like the decenter men movement is harmful, just as harmful as like, you know, the purity culture, here's how you can get your high value husband type movement. Like, we would have been on that time. A lot of us aren't girls. And a lot of us really don't actually care for these women who are sexualizing themselves in this way. A lot of us aren't really concerned. A lot of us just want to call them sluts and whores. You know, like, I always question, like, I guess this is a form of kink play, right? First of all, this is not as bad as some of the stuff I have seen on NSFW Tumblr in like the mid 2010s. Okay, first of all, okay. Second of all, like, I have seen worse and more inappropriate album covers than what Sabrina is trying to do. Third of all, and y'all love to do this argument. Oh, hi, Vincent. Hi, hello. Y'all love to do this argument, right? Y'all love to do, well, what about the children? The children, the kids, the babies, the kids, the girl. What about the children? I'm worried about the kids. You're not worried about the kids. Like, stop lying to yourself. You don't give a shit about those crotch goblins. You don't give a shit about whatever millennial auntie churned out a Gen Alpha, Gen Beta crotch goblin. You do not care. Stop lying to yourself. You do not give a shit, okay? Because if you did, you wouldn't spend all this time worrying about how Sabrina Carpenter is being portrayed to 14-year-old girls, and you'd spend more time talking about you know, pop stars that are for 14-year-old girls or are for teenagers. I would argue K-pop is the perfect demographic for preteens, right? First of all, if there is a parent out here that is letting their kid listen to Sabrina Carpenter, right, between the ages of 14 and 17, hopefully The children no one cares about, Heaven said. Yeah. Hopefully the parent is sitting them down and is like doing one of two things. One, you can't listen to Sabrina anymore until you're of age. Until you're 18 years old and you know what's going on, you can't listen to her anymore. Okay? We can't. You can listen to New Jeans. You can listen to Cat's Eye, but you can't listen to her, okay? Like because this is what she's trying to do is complicated, and I don't think you're going to understand it. And if you want to duplicate what she does, no, you can't. We can't have that, right? Okay. Or two, you explain to your kid what she's trying to do here, and say you as a minor cannot do that. You are not of age. You are not allowed to do that. And if they understand what is going on, right, and how they can't do that, and how Sabrina Carpenter is a celebrity, she is not your big sister, she's not your big cousin, she's not your crazy auntie that you can emulate. As soon as you understand that, then you can like listen and enjoy her music. All right, I feel like that's what parents need to start doing, instead of worrying about how celebrities are being portrayed in the media and how kids like look up to them and idolize them and whatever. Parents need to start having conversations with their kids about like the media that they're consuming and what is reality versus what isn't. All right. For the young adults who are between the ages of 18 and 25, this is where I'm going to say that media literacy is at an all-time low, because y'all should have the foresight and understanding to know that what she's doing is like a play on clever and a little provocative too, but really clever to the idea of like how women have been groomed and trained and to be represented in the caste system of men, right? Like I would hope between the ages of 18 to 25 you would understand that. I know, like I said, media literacy is at an all-time low. Okay, people don't read anymore. People, like the curtain is blue theory, right? So, you know, sometimes the curtains aren't blues, and I think where the education system has failed us, for all of you who do not know what the curtain is blue theory is, it's basically saying that when, like in literature, when people demand that there's a deeper meaning to like something simplistic that happens in a book, and they're like, well, what if the curtains were just blue? Maybe the curtains were just blue, but maybe, and then maybe like, you know, a literature expert might be like, well, no, it's not just the curtains are blue. It's a metaphor for how depressing and isolating society is, you know, like that type of stuff. And then the other person just says, well, no, maybe the curtains are just blue. Maybe the author just intended for the curtains to be blue, right? That's what I mean. It could very easily be that the curtains are blue and that's what the author intended and that's it, nothing else. But until people understand all different angles of why the curtains are not blue, we cannot have well, why can't the curtains just be blue theory? We can't have it, okay? Because stuff like this happens. Like you fail to like miss the mark of like what is the intention behind this album cover, what is the intention behind the artist's vision. Another thing I'd like to add is that you can't be spoon-fed artistry and metaphors, right? Like Sabrina can't sit up here with the poster board and say man's best friend is a play on how women are expected to soothe and comfort and always serve men, but in actuality we're called bitches in the end, similar to how dogs are, right? Like she can't do that. Otherwise you guys wouldn't talk about it. We wouldn't be here talking about it in the way that we are right now. Sometimes the there needs to be like an artistic vision. There needs to be an understanding. There needs to be controversy. Okay. Sometimes that needs to happen. All right. In order for you to make a point or cement your mark. Right. Another thing that I'd like to add is that if art was constantly being spoon-fed to you all the time, you would be bored of it. You wouldn't be interested in it. You would be annoyed. You would demand more. I would much rather artists take creative risks in order to prove their point than to just like lay it all out for you to understand and make it in a way that is more comfortable for you. I feel like a lot of people are in this day and age where they want to feel comfortable. They don't want to feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? They want to listen, enjoy, and consume things that doesn't make them either think as hard or create controversy or discomfort in a way where they have to question their viewpoints on things. And that in and of itself is also dangerous, because then when you get to an incident like this, you know, it's like, well, why is she centering? I don't understand what's going on, the white woman feminism. And it's just like, slow. First of all, the album hasn't came out, right? Second of all, you're doing the same harmful tactics that we've done to women in music before, that we've done to Megan, that we've done to Britney Spears. Like, you're doing the same thing, and you're what is it? You're disguising it as concern, as I'm worried. I don't understand. Like, why are we selling bathwater? You don't, like, the same women who are worried about Sydney Sweeney selling her bathwater probably could give two shits about an actual OF girl that is going through it right now, trying to make rent this month. Y'all really don't care. Y'all really don't care. Y'all would look at that S worker and be like, why would you position yourself in a job or in a role where you are primarily focused on centering men in your life? Okay? All right. Another thing I mentioned about the decenter men movement is that we have a lot of people or pillars in the movement that are out here, you know, spreading the message, spreading the image, right? And I really got to talk about this content creator, Flawed Villain, because this is a piggyback onto what I was talking about this past Friday, about be careful who you let pour into you, be careful who you let give advice to you, because they don't have your best interests at heart. Because it has now came out that this creator here has kind of been grifting all over the place and saying like spicy, controversial takes that are incredibly harmful, transphobic stuff. She's also said, you know, racist stuff about Trump, stuff about Obama. It really does give I took shrooms once. Like, a lot of her takes give I took shrooms once. And now I'm woke, right? And now everything in the government is a lie. Everything is a psyop. And I'm gonna be like this weird libertarian, apolitical type figure that is out here trying to expose the truth to y'all. I don't know, it's a very niche version of like neoconservatism that if you know, you know, right? And I think that's kind of what she's kind of like going for. And ultimately her content and other people's content like this, like the decenter men movements, so the decenter men campaign, not the actual like movement of like, I'm not going to talk about men anymore, I'm not going to focus on men, but like creators who will spend videos after videos after videos just talking about how men are awful human beings, right? And how you need to take them out of your life. I think that they are doing more harm than good, and they are grifting, and they are putting you in a position to ultimately fail because they never really had your best interest at heart. Okay, they're putting you into a position of keeping you miserable and lonely, and the same way these red pill people will keep you miserable and lonely, keep men miserable and lonely by shitting on women all the time. All right. I am in full support of the women who do decenter men content, but it's not just them talking about men 24/7 and spending hours upon hours shitting on men, right? But they're also talking about other things. They're talking about, you know, life. They're talking about friendship. They're talking about building community with other girls. Like, I'm in support of that. But where you start to lose my support is where every single talking point is about men. Like, I just never understood that. Like, you're no better than the pick-me girls trying to find a husband. You know, like, that's just my opinion. And a lot of these people who do this type of content, they see it as lucrative, maybe because they've seen the success of someone like a Shira 7. Maybe it's because they see the success of, like, I don't know, the woman empowerment space growing and building community, so they make their own version of it. This person has a YouTube, a podcast, a Patreon, and a donation, so they're obviously making money off of this movement, right? And honestly, they are grifting into a new category on the internet and hopes to make money first, but really could care less about your mental health and well-being second. Because if they actually did, they wouldn't be saying weird, unhinged, neoconservative type talking points about immigrants being deported, about trans women, about Obama, about Trump. You know, like, they wouldn't be saying stuff like this, right? They'd all understand, like, that type of content is, like, harmful, you know? But yet and still, this person has so many followers. People are listening to them constantly. Women are listening to them constantly. They are positioning themselves as, like, you know, the beacon, the truth teller. Okay. And while they're telling you the truth, and you actually have to live your life of going through the motions of dealing with a bad breakup or dealing with an awful human being of a man, they get to make money off of that, right? Like, they get to make their money off of you being lonely. Okay, like, the creators like her will probably never make content about, like, ways to build community. Like, they probably won't. Because that's not getting it's not getting traction. It's not getting attention. What gets traction and what gets attention is if she talks about men 24/7, and that fuels your mind, and it's a dopamine hit for you. Kimberly Nicole Foster talks about this. Very, very excellent commentary about it. And ultimately, you know, begin to regurgitate these talking points. Inevitably, a lot of these, like, movements are a pipeline, whether you know it or not. I know in Black women's spaces, they're all about the divestment. Like, don't interact with Black men. Don't entertain Black men. Black men aren't worth it. This, that, and the other. You know, divest, date white men. They have more stability. And, you know, that might be true statistically, right? But, like, it's still, you're still dealing with a man, and, like, you still might have to deal with the microaggressions. As someone who's interracially dated, it's not what it's all cracked up to be sometimes. Like, and y'all are just listening to these people, and you don't even know the type of pipeline you're going down. You're over here encouraging Black women to divest from Black men, right? And then when they go out and they marry and procreate with other men that are not Black, and they have, like, a son, who like, is that not a Black man or half of a Black man? Like, or half of a Black boy? How are you going to treat him? You know what I mean? Personally, when it comes to the divestment conversations, I think that you need to just broaden your horizons. All right. You should not box yourself in. But one particular race or group of people isn't going to get you there, okay? One particular race or group of people isn't going to be your golden ticket to success, okay? There are lowbrow men, people in all types of racial categories, not just Black men, okay? So anyway, I don't want to sit on that too long. But yeah, after it came out that she had done, like, super controversial things, or said some super controversial stuff about you know, politics and race and whatever, you know, people have been kind of trying to, like, dial back on her and, like, her support of her. But what sent me is that it took nothing but, like, a quick Google search. Like, it really took, like, just sifting through her history as a creator for people to find out, oh, oh, she's actually an awful human being. She actually isn't in the best interest of a lot of these women. She's actually trying to grift and have latched onto a grift and a rebrand because the libertarian conservative grift was no longer beneficial to her anymore. And so ultimately, I think I'm going to end. I think this is where I'm going to end it. And then I'm going to take a break and maybe get into some gaming, right? I think what we need to learn from this situation is that you have to be very, very careful who you listen to. You have to be careful who you listen to, and you have to vet people out. The amount of people who are gassing up this flawed villain person, right? Flawless villain, whatever her name is, right? And saying, oh, she's the truth. She's the reason. She understands. She gets it. And then in a little under like 2 weeks, it comes out that, oh no, she's actually kind of weird. She's actually leaning towards a pipeline, like a specific type of pipeline, an anti this type of pipeline, a conservative pipeline. Like as soon as that happened, like people are like, no, I don't want to support her. But my question is, why didn't you, the consumer of the media, the consumer of the content, not look for that in the beginning? And with a lot of these creators that are in these types of movements where they are so strongly and staunchly encouraging women to like disregard men, which again, I'm going to repeat, there's nothing wrong with decentering men. I think there's nothing wrong with deprioritizing men and focusing on yourself. I think what's all wrong is kind of pedestalizing a lot of these people who break into this particular woman empowerment space in hopes of clearly trying to make money and not trying to actually care for the interest of the people who consume them. Okay. A lot of the people in that movement are kind of like weirdos or don't have your best interest at heart. I know there's another really popular one. I'm not going to say her name, but it came out that she was grooming one of the folks one of the girls that she was involved with. She made a whole video about it and posted on another content creator's channel. I'm not going to say who because I don't want her followers to come and attack me, you know, but to this day, there are people who still support and encourage this creator, this big decenter men creator, who's more on the very like ruthless, like men are incapable emotion type of side, right? Like, y'all do realize that you guys are supporting creators out here. You don't even know their history. You don't even know where they've been. You don't even know their success stories, none of that. But y'all are supporting them. And you guys are doing so in a way without vetting these people and seeing if they're like reputable people that you should be listening to begin with. Because how is this person still able to have a platform when it came out that they were borderline grooming another woman into sleeping with them? Like, how is that happening? And I can't say names. If you do enough digging, you'll probably be able to find it. But like, that's weird. And y'all are supporting them. She's basically doing the same rule book and playing the same rule book as the men that she's shitting on and telling you do this type of stuff often. And y'all are listening to it. Pretty loud outside. So in conclusion, I don't really care about whatever these women are doing. I really don't. It's their business. Vincent, why are you screaming? I really don't care. I don't care at all. It's their business. They want to present themselves a certain way. They can. I think there needs to be another conversation about what sexually, like being sexually liberated or being sexually empowered or being like more so, you know, sensual versus pandering to a specific demographic, what that means and what that looks like. I'm gonna have to put that in another video because I don't have time. I really don't have the energy to talk about that right now. But like, I don't really care what these women do with their life or how they choose to present themselves on media, right? It's their business, it's their life. They have a right to present themselves as they do. I do have a concern with the way a lot of women celebrities, women entertainers dibble and dabble into elements of S work and discard of that culture when it doesn't benefit them. But that is a very nuanced conversation that I feel like the same decenter, new wave feminist, it's not even feminist, honestly, movement that is out now would not even hold space for or have a conversation about. They would not have a conversation about how Cardi B is talking about WAP and doing S-work tendencies, but she is a married woman. They would not have space for Sydney Sweeney selling her bathwater and probably making millions upon millions of it. And then like an actual S worker on OF is like struggling to make rent that month. They will not hold space for the genuine conversation of women who are doing S work as a means of survival versus women who are doing S work as a means of money, income, and then women who are doing S work as a means of enjoyment. They will not have that conversation, because that will allow for people to kind of like, they have to pull up the veil of like their purity culture mindset. They'd have to like take away that mindset in order for them to have that conversation. Same people worried about these two women won't want to have a conversation about how they are mirroring the pick me, choose me, I need a husband, I gotta be modest and kosher for my husband women with their purity culture rhetoric, and that ultimately in the center they are doing some form of shaming women in the guise of female empowerment. Like, they will not talk about that, right? And you know, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, the creators who kind of spearhead this movement, right? Like, they spearhead this decenter men, here is the truth, the fairy tale is gone, why are you talking about this, why are you obsessing over men 24/7? The ones who will sit on 3, 4, 5, sometimes 8-hour live streams, like a whole work day, make hundreds upon thousands upon millions of pieces of content off of ways for you to decenter men, are in like retrospect making you obsessed with not being interested in men. And ultimately you are no better than the women teaching you how to obtain a husband, how to be a high value woman and obtain a husband. No better. And how it's very dangerous. If you truly want to like decenter men from your life, the best piece of advice I can have for you, okay, is to not listen to these people. Like, you can listen to these people maybe like 4 or 5 times out of the week. Even then it's pushing it, right? But after that you need a hobby. And you also need to create discernment and foresight to understand when these people are trying to scam you and play you and are just regurgitating the same exact talking points in hopes of making money from it, instead of actually being concerned or care about your self-actualization or your self-improvement as a woman. Okay. All right. And I think that's all I got. I really do. Like, I hate talking about this stuff because I can't stay on it. Okay. I really can't. It gets very emotionally exhausting talking about this stuff. I think I'd also like to end with how interesting I find that we have discarded the construct and the concept of fourth wave feminism for whatever the fuck we're doing with this women empowerment space right now. Because fourth wave feminism, in my opinion, yes, Heaven, good. Gotta work on yourself to dissent. Yeah. So Heaven says you got to work on yourself to decenter someone else. Yes, you do, which means you can't spend hours upon hours obsessing over why men are trash. You have to find a hobby. You have to find something positive. Like, that is a dopamine hit to sit in that negativity. You have to find something positive to think about, to talk about, to entertain yourself. You have to pick up a hobby. You have to do something entertaining. Okay? You can't listen to 8-hour live streams of people talking about how men are trash. Okay, like, it's not gonna work. All right, going back to fourth wave feminism real quickly, we've kind of discarded fourth wave feminism, which I believe was strongly talking about the intersectionality between women of color, trans women, equality for all genders, both men and women and everybody in between, my non-binary babies. Like, y'all discarded something that could be so helpful and so useful for everybody, and dismantling this current structure that doesn't benefit anybody. I'm talking about patriarchy. It doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit women. It demands they fit into the specific box that not a lot of women can fit into. And the women that do are completely miserable. And then it also demands that men perform this unrealistic version of masculinity that a lot of them won't be able to obtain. And when they don't, they end up crashing out, and then they don't have the tools that they need to self-actualize or regulate their emotions. And instead of just, you know, finding resources or creating resources for them to work through those things, we've thrown that away for, let's just shit on men altogether and say that they're trash. Let's just decenter men altogether and say that they're horrible human beings. Let's just hate men 24/7 and not address the real problem, which is the unrealistic expectations and the unrealistic gender roles. Unrealistic gender roles of like men and women in the guise of patriarchy. A lot of women have thrown away the term feminism because I guess they think that like it was exclusive to white women alone, when fourth wave was working so hard to include all different types of women, and have entered in this new form of feminism, which isn't really feminism, which is women empowerment, whatever, right? The women empowerment movement is making you more volatile. No, it's not. It's not making you more volatile, but it's not helping you in the way that you think it is, more or less. It's like you're almost like outwoking yourself in a way. And I don't mean woke in like the negative, like conservative way they're using it. Like you're literally like, I am concerned about how women are sexualizing themselves, but you also are borderline slut shaming the women who do sexualize themselves, right? I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Vincent says, a punk girl I know is starting to depunk herself because we live in a pretty conservative area. No, that's awful. I really want to be like a real alt girl, like a high, like I want that to be my whole aesthetic. And I think I have like very alternative like tendencies, okay? Like I like anime, I like art. I watch like 5-hour video essays about theme parks. I don't know, that seems like a pretty alt thing to do. I listen to Metallica from time to time and Iron Maiden. Do you think I could be a hot alt girl? Do you think I could be someone's goth mommy? I think I could. The only thing I don't think I could do is like tattoos. They make me nervous. I'm afraid of commitment. I really am. And also I like the way someone like me is perceived wearing tattoos is completely different than the way, like, I don't know, like a white alt girl would be perceived wearing tattoos. Like, unfortunately, even if I'm trying to portray myself as alternative, both people that look like me and people that don't look like me might put me in a category I don't want to be in, right? Being high alt takes a long time to get dressed. Maybe I could be casual alt. I really want to do like Whimsigoth. I used to shit on Whimsigoth too, but I actually kind of like the concept of it. Like it's kind of like witchy and all that. I really like Whimsigoth. And I really want to get a lot of piercings too. Like a lot. I don't know. Maybe that'll be my eventual evolution. I'll be someone's goth mommy. Whimsigoth mommy. But I kind of like how it takes a long time for them to get dressed. Thanks, Vincent. Thanks. So yeah, But it's unfortunate that the girl you know is starting to depunk herself. How did she start depunking herself? Like, what was the evolution? I'm gonna turn off my camera while I eat sushi. So BRB. I have 76 viewers. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of viewers. Vincent, you're making me cough. Hold on a second. Vincent says she is letting her hair grow out normal, less accessories, and took out her nose piercing because of the pressure and words from the Mormon girls are getting to her since she goes to church. Also, some of these Mormon girls are mean. Like, what happened to Love Thy Brightest? Girl, are you okay? SOS. Oh, no. SOS. Oh, God. And, like, Mormonism. Okay, let me turn on my camera real quick for this. Y'all realize that Mormonism is a cult, right? Like, they are the cultiest of cultiest, like, of religions. Like, they are, like Scientology levels of cult. So I feel so bad that she feels like she has to depunkerify herself to fit in with Mormons of all people. Oh Lord, we lost a soldier. Vincent, you gotta save her. You gotta save her. All right, I'm gonna turn off my camera and finish the sushi. In Atlanta, there are so many different people that live here. There are people that are so like just eccentric and whimsy. Like, so one of the hairdressers I went to, they have a salon and they have a pretty strong social media presence, and he's bald, but he has like little trinkets. Like, his beard is dreadlocked and he has little trinkets in his dreadlocks. And the co-owner of the salon was telling me, like, if he were to like walk in like a more conservative like county or a conservative town or area, they would look at him like an absolute weirdo. But in Atlanta, it's just like a Tuesday. And I agree. Like, in Atlanta, it's just like, that's what you like. You just see that shit on little 5 points and you just keep moving. But it's so unfortunate, Vincent, that she's depunkifying herself. Need my girl to get up, but she's tired of not finding a date. But I'm like, you don't know. Okay, so let me finish my sushi, Vincent, and I'll get back to you real quick. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back with you. Can you guys hear me chewing? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so here's a good case study of when you should probably decenter men, right? Okay. So Vincent says he has this friend. Okay, Vincent, let me know what your pronouns are. Okay. He has this friend, and she used to be like a punk alt girl, but she's like in a very conservative area. And so she's starting to kind of depunkify herself. She's starting to take out her accessories, let her hair grow out regular. Thank you, Vincent. Normal nose piercings, because the pressure of other Mormon girls, okay? Mormon girls fall here, guys. They fall here on the horseshoe. They fall all the way here, all the way here, all the way here, all the way right, okay? Right? But the Mormon girls are getting to her since she goes to church, okay? Ooh, church. Yikes. How Vincent, how old is she? How old are you and how old is she? Are y'all, first of all, if you are like under the age of 18 and watching me, you need to leave, okay? I've always said this. My stream is rated B for bad bitches, all right? Under the age of 18, you should not be here, okay? You should not. You have no business being here, right? Anyway, we're 20 close. Okay. 20 close to 21. All right. So Vincent says the punk girl that he knows is close to 21 is depunkifying herself because she's around a lot of Mormon girls since she goes to church. First of all, like I said, I'm not going to have any opinions about religion right now, okay? I'm just not going to have any opinions about it, all right? But what I will say is that the Mormonism and Mormon, that's a cult. That's like it doesn't get any cultier than Mormons out of all the religions. I don't even think they believe, do they believe in Jesus, Vincent? They believe like a guy wrote this Bible that they follow. Mormons are weird, okay? Anyway, Vincent says that some of these Mormon girls are weird, where his friend is depunkifying themselves just to fit in with these Mormon girls, right? And Vincent says that he needs his girl to get up, but she's tired of not finding a date. Okay, so that's when we need to decenter men, okay? Because you're over here on the far right. You're over here at the pick me. Yeah, that's weird. You're over here at the pick me area, right? You're going to church, okay? And you really want to date, right? You really want to date. So you're doing all of these things. You're literally changing your whole brand as a person and hope to find love and a relationship. But you're changing the essence of who you are. One goth mommy has left us today, is leaving us, is dying. I can't say dying, but is withering away because they are trying to fit in with a cult of women who, according to Vincent, don't even consider themselves Christians like that. So I don't even know what the fuck Mormons are doing, right? And you're losing your essence as a person in hopes to get a date. And so you're following these Mormon women in hopes to teach you how to get a date. A lot of those Mormon women either end up on one of two spectrums. Okay, they end up like retired housewives, building up cautionary tales as to why the Mormon church is a mess and crazy and you should not believe in anything that they do or represent, right? Talk about how they used to be trad wives, how it messed up their life, and they're like in their 50s and they have like no independence, right? And then the other end of the spectrum of women are like, of Mormon women are like a Ruby Frank. Remember that lady? That Ruby Frank lady who's in jail right now? Ruby Frankie? Where they end up falling so deep into the Mormon Kool-Aid that, I don't want to show the children. They end up falling so deep into the Mormon Kool-Aid that they end up in jail for it. Ruby Frank was a woman who on YouTube had this channel called, I I don't even know what the channel was, but she was a Mormon that raised like eight children in like this very strict Mormon household and was able to start a business off of it. And then it came out that she was abusing these kids and using them for clicks and views. Like, there's no positive end of the spectrum. Even like with that Nara Smith person, right? I think it's cool that she's making bread and cheese from scratch. Like, go off, sis. But like, also we got she's giving you a very romanticized version of housewife duties, of traditional housewife duties. Okay, like that's not real. Like, that's not what real housewives like live. That's not how they live their lives. Like a real housewife doesn't have time to be like filming herself. Like a trad wife, she's over here like working. Okay, whoa, a fly went into my eye. All right, okay. What has Vincent said? Too many moms I know in Mormonism that they have bachelor's degrees just collecting dust. Unpopular opinion for me, I don't okay, I know y'all are gonna hate me for this, but like, I don't aspire to have children, and I don't aspire to be married anytime soon, if at all. Like, I just don't. I feel like it's a trap. And no matter how they flip it and change it, especially because like there's this certain sector of like Black culture now, I call it like the respectability politic, talented 10th aspect of content creators or YouTube or like internet, where they're encouraging women like myself to want to get married and to want to have kids and to want to multiply, and that if I have the ring, I got it together. And I don't know. I just know so much. Like, it doesn't seem like marriage benefits women in the way that we have been conditioned to think it does. And I don't know. I'm just way too selfish with my life. I don't want kids. I really don't. I don't really care for them. I think they're cute and adorable. And like, some of my friends have kids. Some of my friends are talking about having kids, and I am hyping them up. But it's just like, it's because of what Vincent is saying in chat. Too many moms I know in Mormonism that they have bachelor's degrees just collecting dust in the closet because they became housewives. Harmful. As a woman, you always want to have your own. Okay. All right, like, you really want to have your own. You really want to have your own money. And if you choose to step into the housewife, trad wife lifestyle, make sure the prenup is set up so that if something goes awry, you will get something out of it. Okay, all right. But yeah, it's just a harmful. It strips your independence away as a woman. And that's another problem I have with these spaces, is when they try to teach you how to obtain a man, or Sprinkle teaches you how to use men for their money. Like, financial abuse is a thing, okay? And a lot of wealthy men, like a lot of men who have money like that, like, they are not stupid, all right? That's how, if you guys watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, oh God, here we go. Not Ashley Dalton. Oh God, what is her name? Real Housewives of Potomac. There is one woman on there, Ashley Darby. Ashley Darby kind of did the sprinkle thing. So very quickly, I'm going to explain what Ashley Darby did. In the early season, she was marrying this old geezer of a dude. I guess he was an Australian billionaire or whatever. And she married him, then joined the show, and like tried to stand by him, I guess, but they ultimately ended up in divorce. She had his kid while they were divorcing. People really didn't know what the construct of their relationship was. They really didn't understand like what their relationship was really looking like, right? Ashley Darby sprinkled herself into this guy's life. Okay, she sprinkled herself into this guy's life, and was able to reap the benefits of like a nice, steady, financial solution, I guess, like with her living in this home, being supported by this like rich guy and whatnot. But then he doesn't want her anymore, right? He doesn't want her. And he basically controls her. And when she got her new home on Real Housewives of Potomac, everybody kind of knew that like this was like in $1 million home with a 10K mortgage, right? And everybody kind of knew that $13,000 a month, right? Everybody knew that her ex-husband was paying for it. And so it was like a situation where however like if he says jump, she really has to say how high. She has to say how high. Like he kind of controls her whole entire life. Like even in the divorce, I think they set it up so that like the prenup or whatever, like she wasn't gonna get much money from him. You know what I mean? So he still controls her. You gotta be really careful with that sprinkle stuff. Okay, you gotta be so careful. Okay, a lot of men understand the game. They're not stupid. Okay, especially men with money. They're very, very smart, and they will financially abuse you. Okay, so you gotta be 10 steps ahead, or just have your own. And really, if you want to obtain a man of like means and resources, you gotta do rich bitch shit. Okay, you can't be an influencer teaching people how to make money. Like you have to, like, if you want a lawyer, you gotta be a lawyer. Like this isn't rocket science. It's so sad because they seem to really like what they study, but it always comes back to them to having their little angels and gave up their lives for them. See, and that's a thing. So Vincent says that, women seem like they really like what they studied. They seem to like what they studied in college, but it always comes back to them to having little angels and giving up their lives for them, and it's supposed to be altruistic. That's an interesting word. I'm gonna look up what that means. Altruistic. No, AI mode, I don't want you. Dictionary, showing disinterested and selfless concern for the well-being of others. Unselfish. See, that couldn't be me. I'm too selfish. Like I just can't. I literally will have nightmares of being pregnant. Like literal nightmares of being pregnant. Like it could not be me. I think this facade of like women have to sacrifice. I don't want to sacrifice. Fuck them goblins. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna turn off my camera and eat more sushi. I'll be right back. Okay, actually I lied. I have something to say. Okay, because like what happens? What if that guy doesn't want you anymore? Then what do you do? What's your next step in life? Like how do you function? How do you survive if you've literally given up and sacrificed your whole life for this man to like support you? You always have to have your own. on. All right. So yeah, like I said, I do think that there is something to be said about like these women empowerment spaces and how they can do more harm than good at times. But I do think that we need to focus more so, like true decentering of men is like actually picking up hobbies and doing. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Thank you, JG. I appreciate it. Hi, can you guys hear me? Someone let me know if you could hear me. Okay, yay, Vincent, yay. All right, so I just went off on a tangent. Hi, JG. We were talking about stuff here. How was your night? How are you doing today? Wow, there's a lot of people viewing my stream. Aww. I'm really happy. Thanks, guys, for popping in. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to play Infinity Nikki, but I don't know if it's gonna work or if it's gonna cause me problems. It looks like it's gonna cause me problems. I might just have to play Marvel Rivals. I could play Stardew Valley, but I don't feel like playing Stardew Valley. I can't complain. Spent the last 5 hours cleaning my spare room for my aunt to stay with me. I usually catch some of the VODs after the stream end. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that you watch my VODs. Hopefully I'm entertaining. Sometimes I feel like I'm really boring. I'm trying to find a schedule that works for me. It seems like Fridays and Sundays is it for now, but it might change later on in the future. I'm also trying to figure out how I can I'm also okay, take care, Vincent. I'm also trying to figure out how I can like clip all my VODs so that I can post them on other platforms. But yeah, Jay, we were just ranting about the Sabrina Carpenter, Sydney Sweeney women empowerment and their controversies. I'd also like to let y'all know that I'm not like anti-women empowerment or like pro pick me. Like I'm not. But honestly, like I said, it seems like anything a woman does, like if they just exist, it's like, you're a pick me. And it's like, wait, well, how did we get here? How and why is she a pick me? And she says, you know, I prefer to wear a cardigan because I'm cold. Pick me. I prefer a salad. Pick me. Like, okay, whoa. Let me see here. Okay, so it looks like Infinity Nikki is gonna cause me problems. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and end it and then probably play Marvel Rivals. This happens from time to time. I really have to like have Infinity Nikki up and like ready to play, but otherwise I'll have issues trying to boot it up. So I'm actually gonna play like a couple of Marvel Rivals games, and then I might end this stream. Like I might cut it short, honestly. I might just cut it really short. Yeah, that's been a hot topic this weekend. Okay, so Vincent, if I didn't say it, take care, have a great rest of your night. And then JG said you're entertained. Yeah, that's been a hot topic this weekend. Looking forward to catching the earlier part of the stream where you give your thoughts. Figure you wouldn't want to say them all again. Yeah, I'm probably not going to say them all again. But I did have thoughts. I just feel like, you know, Jay, I'm talking to you, my main man, because you're in the chat right now. I feel like a lot of people are like lonely and they're looking for connection and they're looking for answers, and a lot of people aren't like utilizing spaces like church or religion anymore. And honestly, I completely understand why. The church, like religion and religious culture is kind of toxic. I'm not gonna sit up here act like it isn't, but then it's like they're trying to find answers through other forms of community and spaces that are online, but where they're trying to find these answers and trying to find this community, they're not even vetting to ensure if the spaces are like legit, or if like those spaces have their best interest at heart. Like you look at people like Andrew Tate and how he was able to just encroach and influence a bunch of young boys who just saw him with the like Lamborghinis and girls like literally just sitting there near him, like not even like enjoying their time, just sitting there near him, and they were like, I want that life. And they didn't really like unpack the why behind them actually wanting that type of life, or if that life is like for them. And like a lot of them didn't even vet to see if like, you know, this guy was legit, because then it comes out that he was trafficking women in Romania. And then you had fully grown men like a part of his like MLM adjacent scheme where they were spreading his message in order to get paid from it. Like, girl, what? Ooh. And then when it's all said and done, when it's finally over, like these young boys, like their head is all fucked up, and now they can't stand women. And I think the same thing is happening in these like women empowerment spaces. It's just this, it's red pill for women. And like I said, there's like truth to everything. So some of them are right in what they talk about, but like some of them are really just saying whatever is like hot and trending and trying to put their spin on it. Who is this? It's Captain America? Galactic Talon. Oh, this is nice. Look at his feet. I want to look at his feet. Can I look at his feet? They're not gonna let me look at his feet, but his feet look cool. So I'm gonna play some Marvel Rivals. I'm not good at this game though, but like I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you could see the screen. I want to be really good at this game, so I gotta keep playing it. But oh, Christmas Groot. Wait, such a nasty saga. Yeah, that whole pipeline for corrupting young men's minds is messy. Red pill is for young women. Yeah, it is red pill for young women. But here's the thing. I get it, right, JG? Like, I understand when you have a group of men who congregate and they're going through issues, and instead of going to therapy, they're like, I'm going to listen to Andrew Tate and pay him $500, or I'm going to listen to the Fresh and Fit podcast and watch them embarrass a bunch of these girls half their age. Like, the obvious response from women is like, well, we're gonna do that too, you know? And so now you have like these women empowerment spaces that are just as toxic as the male empowerment spaces, and they're doing it in the name of like, you know, we want to look out for you, sis, we want you to decenter men, we want better for you. And I do believe that at its core the women empowerment spaces do want better for women, but it's just like, y'all are doing it in a way where you guys can still leverage patriarchy. If you're like listening to Sprinkle Sprinkle, and Sprinkle Sprinkle is telling you that you need to marry for security, not for looks, not for anything else, and you just need to use men for their money, right? Like, are you not like encouraging, first of all, are you no different than a swiper or an S worker? Nothing wrong with S workers, by the way. Early on in my rant, I was talking about like how S workers are underrepresented, or their culture is utilized for the success of celebrities, but then they throw it away when it no longer benefits them. So like nothing against sex workers, right? But it's like, you can do the same thing that like Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady is telling you to do, and not have to get into like a tough, difficult, like potential nasty divorce battle with a dude that you were not even interested in the first place. You know, like you're no different than like these swipers that a lot of like the women empowerment space kind of look down upon, but also are like encouraging the same type of like mannerisms, you know what I mean? Or like framing the same type of practices in a way where like the women who do indulge in like those spaces, the women empowerment spaces, are like safer or you know, better than like your traditional swiper or OF girl who sells her booty hole for $5.99 a month. Like, you're no different. And I don't think a lot of like, especially like 9-to-5 girlies, I don't think they know or understand or have the discernment to know like, okay, this is the advice I can pick up on. I'm not gonna let a man step on me. Okay, I could take that, versus this is the advice that I can't use, like going to a bar by yourself at like midnight and drinking and people watching and hoping that like some wealthy dude will pick you up and whisk you away like a lost puppy. Like, that's weird. I don't know. But look at this Groot holiday set. Isn't it cute? It's cute. I did hear, okay, so there was a woman on TikTok that said, if you're ever depressed, go to your local Mexican restaurant, sit at the bar, get some enrichment activities, and befriend the coworkers. Befriend the coworkers and learn about all their coworker drama. That I am here for, but you should only do that during the day. That I'm actually here for. That sounds fun. But like, you know, going to a rich bar, or a bar where rich men are, and trying to seek one out alone by yourself, dangerous. No. JG says, yeah, we can see the screen, completely agree. And that's an interesting point about other groups leveraging the imagery of sex workers for their benefit. The nuance gets lost in a lot of the guidance. Groot is killing those fine pants. I know, he looks so dapper in these pants. They're so cute. He's so cute. Oh, look at his little mustache. I don't know, he looks kind of cute. I don't know. You are Groot. He's such a look at his little sock tail. That's cute. Yeah, and that's another thing with social media. Is another thing is that we are in a day and age where this is cool. Frozen demon bundle. Okay. We're in a day and age on social media where there's little to no room for nuance, because that would actually require people to like think a little bit more. Like, it would actually require thinking, like people actually like working on like using their brains and seeing how it can apply to their life, or seeing if it even concerns them. And so there's like very little room for nuance. It's always like black and white and no shades of gray. And this has happened even when social media was more positive, right? like the golden age of social media, maybe in like the 2010s, is that people did not have room for nuance. So like the Dramageddons with the James Charles and the Jeffree Stars and the Shane Dawson and the Tati Westbrook and whoever else was in that circle, like that type of stuff. Perfect example as to no one looking at nuance. And then on TikTok, when you see like clips of people speaking in podcasts or clips of people speaking on like very like spicy talking points, and then you don't even have the attention span to pay attention to it, right? Like you leave very little room out for you to understand the nuance in what people are talking about, and to understand, or even to have empathy and understand where they're coming from, you know? Yeah, and JG says, plus nuance takes time, which is kind of at odds with the TikTokification. Yeah, nuance takes time. You have to think things through. You have to like pay attention. You can't just scroll past nuance. And then there's some things that are shades of gray. Not everything is black and white. And I think people are trying so hard with like the way social media has like radicalized us now to look at things or try to put things in a box, when sometimes that's just not the case. Like multiple things can be true at once, right? But then like also at the same time, while multiple things can be true at once, there can also be multiple things that are kind of fucked up and wrong. That's probably how like Red Pill got started, is that like it started off with like, you're a dude and you need to work out and you need to, you know, improve on yourself and you need to improve on your life. And then it ends with what does it end with? It ends with you hating women and you thinking women are awful and garbage, and like watching all of these like insecure men embarrass women like half their age for some weird, you know, karma kink that they have. Like same for the women empowerment spaces, you know. It starts off with like, you need to disregard men and you need to focus on your life. Men can't not always be on the center of your life. And then it ends in, but aren't men horrible, awful, terrible human beings that are incapable of love that you should only use for, like, any woman who is even seen as an inkling of delectable to men, we should be worried about because they are sexualizing themselves for men or not for the gaze of women. Like stuff like that is just weird. I love this costume of her. I think it's so cute. Okay, time to play the game. Time to play the game. I'm ranting too much. Okay. So it always takes me so long to find somebody to play with. I wonder who the next set of heroes are. Has anybody played this game? I wonder how Ultron plays. I heard he's a strategist, but I don't have time to learn about him. And I also know that he has a little orb that floats behind you. Excuse me. I don't have time to learn that though. Symbiotic surface. Is this like the fungal area?
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Of course they can. I'm gonna play Invisible Woman and pretend like I'm good at this game.
The background.
Sometimes I'm good with my Invisible Woman, sometimes I'm not. It just depends. It depends on the vibes. Someone played Cloak and Dagger. Those are also my faves. Cloak and Dagger. Games like these make me miss cosplaying. I would love to cosplay as Cloak, or as a Dagger. I'd like to do a version, like a female version of Cloak. Yes, that would be cool. And then Psylocke too, and then I get like the sexy Invisible Woman, like the evil one. I'd want to cosplay that, but like, you know, cosplaying takes time. A lot of people ask me why I don't cosplay anymore, and that's why. It takes time and money, and I don't have that. I don't have that right now. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I'll get you next time. That's better. I feel vulnerable. Clearly you needed some help.
Okay. Oh, also while I play this game, I never talk. Because it's too much for me. I'm like always like hyper focused on the game. So I just don't talk. I don't know why Dagger's like up there like that. You're not leaving anything to Khonshu.
Nobody can stand up against a full-strength Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
A little help, please.
You're locked in. It's understandable. Thanks. I'm actually really bad at this game. It's okay. I want to get like really good though. Like really, really good. Who knows? Maybe when I'm employed again, I'll like pay for lessons. That's the type of good I want to be. Because like, why did I put my shield up here like this? Oh no, they're pushing. Oh no. No. I'm worried. Man, I am not looking forward to going to work. I want to do such little work as possible. I do, and I have to take these AI courses, and I don't want to learn AI. I know you gotta, otherwise, like with technology, it's like you have to catch up to technology or you will be left behind. But I'm just so worried about AI. I'm just so worried about it. Okay, is everybody over there? Like, what is happening? Oh, those are the enemies. Okay. Okay. Is there somebody over there?
You need to stop that vehicle.
Okay.
I am ready to put on a show.
I don't want any smoke. I don't want any smoke.
Our enemies are left.
Oh, I got my Q, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use my Q. I don't know how to use my ultimate. And I'm pretty sure we could use that right now. Where am I?
You stopped them in their tracks.
Okay, let me follow Doctor Strange. Maybe I'll use my Q now. Okay. Whee. Okay, did I do that right? No? Oh, hey, that was good. That was good. I killed Thor. He really thought he had me too. Oh, Jeff. Oh, I hate playing against Jeff. Yeah, I'm killing people. Yay. No, no, no. Okay, wait, no. Is that her? Is that her stuff? Is that her goo?
I got you covered.
Okay, I don't want to go over there if I don't have to. God, where is everybody else? I'm getting the least amount of kills though. That makes me sad. I'm getting a lot of assistance though.
Thought you wouldn't see me again?
Behold the god of thunder!
Gotta stop that people!
Okay, I'm gonna follow Moon Knight. I don't know where everything is. Everything is just so chaotic right now. And everybody's dead, so it's really just me and all of these. Okay. Let me help my team out. I used my ult wrong.
You forced my hand. Clearly you needed some help.
Shit.
Enemy in front of us. Lord Mercy.
Vortex field! No worries, I got your back. Stop them in their tracks!
All right. Let me just.
I got you covered. That's much better. Vortex field!
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
No. I don't want to feel anybody's wrath. Oh, God. Hey, but I played pretty well. I played well enough.
I didn't give up so easily.
Okay. Yes, Invisible Woman, don't give up. Girl, don't give up.
Armed and dangerous! Again!
Clearly you needed some help. Psionic surge! Only 60
Okay. Ready to get together? Can we get together? Oh, God. No, we can't. Wow, I'm playing really well as Invisible Woman today. That rarely happens. Sometimes it's very hard for me to play as Invisible Woman. So since I'd be out here struggling.
Thought you wouldn't see me again? Down to 30 seconds.
Okay. How do people talk while playing this game? It's so tough.
The final 10 seconds. Disappear! I got you covered. Teach me that to
Your powers are mine!
You're not.
the timeout.
Oh, yay. I think we got it. Yay. I won. Yay. Let's go, Moon Knight. Moon Knight carried. And I didn't play too bad. 21 kills, 26 assists, 5 deaths. That's not awful. That's like 3rd place. No, that's 4th place maybe. That's not awful. Okay. Sometimes I get good Invisible Woman days, sometimes I don't.
The right heroes could make all the difference. I'm not the type who fades quietly into the background.
I wonder if my partner is asleep. I wish I could be good at playing Emma Frost, but I don't like playing tanks. I like playing strategists. I like healing people and making kills. I wonder if they're gonna have Shuri in this game.
Who wants to see something fantastic?
Sure.
Coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Pretend to be a machine if you are just organs in a metal shell. There's an organ called a brain, Ultron. It created you. And I know that drives you crazy.
Why is she so thick? There's no business for her to be this thick, though. Like, it'd be stressing me out.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area. Hey, make fun of my tail all you want.
She's tall and she's thick. Stallion height and thick. I have certain heights for, like, based off of horses ever since Megan Thee Stallion came out, right? So, like, Megan Thee Stallion is like 5'8", 5'9", so that's obviously stallion height, right? But like dapple height, which is what I am, is like between like 5'5" to like 5'7". So I'm 5'6.5", so that's dapple height. And then ponies are anybody underneath 5'5". So you're either a stallion, a dapple, or a pony.
Anyone willing to help?
Oh, who's bombing us?
This was Dr. Org.
What the hell? What is that? Why did I put that out there? What is that? Can we shoot at that thing?
We've got trouble. Feel the pull. Watch your tail. Feeling fantastic.
Damn it.
I feel like myself again. Another fallen foe. Beware my might.
It's clear.
Is that big red thing at the top of the playing field Ultron's thing? Oh god, I think I went the wrong way. I don't know these maps. Sorry guys. I'm just telling you, I would have been crushing it with Infinity Nikki, cuz like where am I even? I hear all the shooting. Oh, I don't even think I'm supposed to be here. Shit. I am not supposed to be here. Okay. Oh god. Jeff.
Such curious little spiders.
take care of him, Jeff. Human Torch. I don't like. Is that Ultron or is that Human Torch? Oh, that's Iron Man. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was Iron Man. I like his new skin. Looks cool. Looks cool. Okay, is that Squirrel Girl? Yeah. Man, fuck Iron Man. I'm about to change my hero. I'm gonna be Cloak and Dagger. I can be more effective with Cloak and Dagger.
Double KO.
Wee.
Stop them.
I heard there was a video game, a MOBA for Dragon Ball Z. Is that true? Dragon Ball Z has a MOBA? Like it plays like League of Legends? Oh, we are losing so badly, right? Yeah, we are. We're not playing well. We are not playing well. Whoa, what is that? Ah, Magneto, no! Ah.
Us against the world. Us against the world.
We were playing so bad.
Better stop that vehicle. Dagger's back. Only 60 seconds left.
I don't know.
Now might be a good time to stop them. My time to shine.
Your god is suffering.
You owe me one.
No. I didn't even know I was still alive.
We lost your shield.
I just stopped moving.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry.
Damn, I just stopped moving.
I'm back to shed some light.
Thank me later.
Better stop that vehicle.
Better stop that vehicle.
Maximum pulse.
Run away. What am I supposed to do? Oh, Squirrel Girl's there. Okay, maybe I will come back.
Better stop that vehicle.
How do I...
Only 60 seconds left.
No.
Fire mode. Don't give them another inch. Aura. Lock on the shot. Us against the world. Us against the world.
Oh. Yay.
Your powers are mine.
Oh wow, we're winning. I felt like I was the least helpful though. You are so slay. Thanks, Cam. So are you, Diva. Thank you.
Epic victory.
Yay, we won. I don't think I helped at all, but like we won, so that's all that matters. Okay, how long have I been here? 2 hours and 30 minutes. I might cut this stream short. I'll do one more game, but I'm getting kind of sleepy and I gotta get ready for work tomorrow, so I might cut it short here, like after this game. Cam, how are you today? How are you this evening? Lovely. I have to say, this is I've gotten like the most views today. That normally doesn't happen. Okay, Invisible Woman. I'm pretty great. How are you? You are so pretty, girl. Oh my god, thanks, Diva. Thanks. I look like a gremlin today. I put on like no makeup. I just slapped on a wig. Wait, what? What do you mean overtime? I'm shoehorned into another game? Nice. I'm pretty good. I spent earlier today ranting about stuff. What? I did absolutely nothing in this game. I don't like that. But now I'm playing Marvel Rivals. I was about to play Infinity Nikki, but it's not working. Sometimes it doesn't work on my PC, so now I'm playing Marvel Rivals. And I was talking about how I miss cosplaying. I do, but I just don't have money because I would really like to cosplay some of the characters from Marvel Rivals. Specifically Cloak and Dagger, Invisible Woman's evil form, and Psylocke. No, I haven't cosplayed as anything. I used to cosplay. I don't do that anymore, honestly, because it's just so time consuming and so expensive. So I have taken a break. Though some people who used to know me from my cosplay days, they miss me. But I was saying I would like to cosplay as Invisible Woman, Psylocke, Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, I think those are the three right now. You know, and I thought I wanted to cosplay as Emma Frost, but I don't. I made a whole rant. I'm gonna have to post clips of that VOD, but I made a whole rant about how Emma Frost's outfit was killer. Like, her main outfit was killer, and then towards the end, like, her boots look like ass. Like, I don't know who was on the character design team that co-signed those boots, but they do not work with the rest of her outfit. They're just like too on the nose. And of course, all the gooners are like, oh, she looks fine. Yeah, because she's a fat ass. That's why she looks fine. Anybody with a fat ass or big ass, it's always going to look fine in whatever they wear, according to gooners. But like, still, it's just like, why do her boots look so awful? They really had potential to do some big things with her outfit, like great things, and they dropped the ball with the boots, and now I don't want to cosplay her anymore. She is so baddie. Yeah, she is. She's a bad bitch. All right. Is there a reason why Groot is just standing there? Is that it? Oh God, let me just stand over here for now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll stand with Jeff. Thank you, Cam. See, Cam, you get it. Like, the outfit is cute, but then the boots just like suck. Like, what the fuck are we even doing? All right, there we go. I like this Jeff. Oh God, that was coming. Yeah, Cam, the boots look awful. They look disgusting. Like, I don't like they dropped the outfit with the boots, and so for that reason, I don't want to cosplay her anymore. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I were like 23 or 21, I'd probably want to cosplay her. But I've evolved. When I see bad character design, I'm like, no. Her other costumes are cute, though. I'm not gonna lie. Oh. Whoa. There's Invisible Woman for Invisible Woman. Okay. What is this Groot thing doing here? Has me thinking that we're on the same team. Okay. I need to find... Is this a pit? I need to heal myself. Okay. I'm going invisible until I can heal myself.
So long, turret.
Oh, there was a health pack there. Yikes. Okay, there you go. Oh, is this the vehicle? Is this the vehicle? This moving thing? That's the vehicle? That's creative. There we go. Okay, like just... That looks like a Groot, though. Okay, can I use the... Okay, I think I can use my ult now. No. No, I can't use my ult now. I gotta go to bed, Queen, but I'll try my best to join your next... Okay, bye, Cam. See you later, Diva.
No worries. I've got your back.
I know it's Sunday, so I appreciate anybody who's popping in on a Sunday. Like, what? Okay, so I think we can do the invisible, like my ult now. Can I do my ult now? Where is everybody? Oh. There they are. Why does this look like a Groot? Okay. Oh, God. Okay. What is going on? We're losing people. on.
I'll fight for my family until the end.
Okay, we'll do that. Hey, who are Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic's like their kid? What do their kid look like? Is it stretchy? Like, is their kid stretchy and like invisible? Like invisible and stretchy? Do you ever wonder about that?
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Okay, I should use my ult now. We're in the middle of the fight.
Disappear! They look like they
There we go.
I'm afraid we're outnumbered.
We are outnumbered, Invisible Woman. What do we do? What do I do? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and work it out. I wish I could.
Maximum pulse.
Okay. Where is everybody?
An opportunity.
I'm not going out there. Where is it? Oh shit.
Invisible?
Okay, sorry, Squirrel Girl. All right.
No worries. I got your back. That's much better. I appreciate you. There's still a chance to stop them.
Yeah, there's still a chance. I like that the Groot is a point. I think that's very creative.
Only 60 seconds left.
No, Jeff. A fallen soldier. There we go. God, because what was that? What was that? Ah.
I won't disappear so easily.
Okay, so it looks like we're winning, so that's good. Whee!
The final 10 seconds.
Oh no, really? How did that happen?
Oh, a touch of healing. You'll have to keep fighting until you have the winner. Us against the world.
Oh, shit.
Maximum pulse.
Oh god, everyone's using their ults. This isn't good for any of us. Are we gonna win? Oh, we lost. There's no way.
I'll fight for my family until the end.
Why are we going? They oh, we won? What? Wow. Okay, cool. Okay. This is cute. Squirrel Girl is cute. Okay, that was cute. All right. Let's see here. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut it here. Yeah, I did not play well. Maybe... Okay, maybe I'll play one more game, and then we'll cut it here. Because I gotta get ready for bed in the morning. But I do appreciate everybody who came to my live. This is the most views I've had from a live stream, and I really, really love it. I really appreciate it. So thank you guys for joining. And hopefully you watch the VODs. I noticed, so I'm not streaming on Twitch. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Because I'm not multi-streaming. I took a break from it today. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it. If anything, I do like streaming on... I like streaming on here more than Twitch. Twitch seems like I'm in a void, like an empty void. But I'm going to continue to stream on there. I don't know. Like, I gotta set it up and make it look all nice and be consistent with it. It feels like I gotta be there for like work days, just streaming.
Even when the multiverse is in danger, family still comes 30 first. Seconds before you attack. Get ready.
The Windsor Soldier. It's an honor. You're one of the best in the business. My performance record as an assassin shouldn't make me anyone's role model. Hey, I don't tell you not to idolize the red, white, and blue Boy Scout. Let me do me.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Mission area. Got it.
I prefer teams of 4, but I can make this work. Here comes trouble.
Okay. Who's trouble? Alright, so I gotta defend the tank. Defend the tank. Defend the tank. Oh, there's so much noise. Come on. Oh, fucking squirrel girl. Damn it.
The mission area is yours. Be proud of what
I heard there was a 3D Among Us. Like, it's Among Us in 3D. I have to play that game. I don't know who I can play it with. There is a couple people I follow on TikTok that I would love to play with, but I also know that people are very iffy about collabs, and I honestly don't blame them. So if they didn't want to play with me, I'd completely understand. Or if they didn't want to do a collab, I don't know, it just feels kind of grody. Oh god, let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Oh, here, hey. Shit. Just hide over here. Over here while I heal myself. No!
Always glad to help, partners. That's what I need. An army of artificial arachnids.
This is gonna be captured within half the mission area. Keep going.
Oh. Venom is not who I really want to mess with right now. Okay, let me just hop over here. Whee! God. I also don't want to mess with Spider-Man either. Who's attacking me? Who's attacking me? Let me go over here, get a health pack. There we go. I like Invisible Woman's voice actress. I like the transatlantic accent that she has. She kind of has a it feels like transatlantic accent to me.
I don't give up so easily.
Oh, I'm not playing well, shit. I think I might... I'm the only... Okay, I might... Hold on, let me just go back. Let me just play Cloak and Dagger. Just for the sake of the team. If I'm the only support, I play better as Cloak and Dagger.
See the darkness and face it. Your progress is past the halfway point. Watch me soar! My time to shine. Everybody needs a win. Almost got it. My time to shine.
Wee. Oh, Jeff, no. Jeff has come to terrorize me.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. My time to shine.
Oh no, we lost. Alright, I'm gonna play Invisible Woman again. Try one more time. Just one more time.
Light doesn't dispel the cloak and dagger. I'm not the type who fades. We didn't ask to be heroes, but we always answer the call.
What?
30 seconds before you attack.
Where's
Get
Mr.
ready.
Fantastic? Is that him?
Such stealth.
Is that Mr. Fantastic?
Currently, I'm more interested in fighting against our common foes.
Oh, that is him. Okay, just relax.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
A choice between two dooms is not much of a choice at all. We've been discovered. Eight-legged tracking bombs.
Whoa, who is that?
So the mission area
What is
is
that?
now.
I have no idea who that is.
Capture the mission area.
That's a bad job, thanks.
Feeling fantastic. No worries, I've got your back. Psionic surge. Just like mine. I feel. I got you covered.
Okay,
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
where is that going? Where is that going? Don't let it go to me. Okay. Whew. Look at us.
It's spider time!
No, it is not, Penny Parker. It is not. It's not. Ah, shit.
Thought you wouldn't see me again? Clear the way! Pull-up time! You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going! Such curious little spiders. Vortex field. That was just in time.
Did we do this? Was that a smart move for us? Was that a good time to use my ult? No, probably not. I'm learning how to use it though, so that's always nice. Get away from the scroll stampede. Just topped my health pack. My health pack. Shit. No, guys. Fuck.
Double KO! Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
It's spider time! Anybody want some nuts? Whoever they are,
Jesus. I don't want to get into that. Oh, shit. No, we're gonna let them take it. Damn it.
Her and Spider.
Control clearance. Still needed here. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a win.
No. If they win, I'm leaving. That's a sign. That is a sign. That is a sign. Oh, we captured it. Okay.
It feels good to step outside my bubble every now and then. 30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
I've heard you have a background in computer science. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, actually, I do. Why do you ask, Mr. F?
Have you ever considered using those talents to save the universe instead?
I mean, sure, but then I remember that I beat Thanos with the help of his... The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Even in the depths of space, hunger still shines brighter than any star.
Trouble has arrived.
Super curious little spiders.
Oh, hey, healing bubble. Mr. Fantastic, no. What are we supposed to do here? It's you and me, Penny Parker. It's you and me. Oh, it's just you, Penny. It's just you.
I appreciate you. Double KO. Thought you wouldn't see me again?
I'm a problem your gun can't solve, Frank.
Okay.
That's one down.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
half of the mission area. Keep going.
Defend like it's your
Oh, where am I going? LOL.
Control lost.
Oh no, we lost control.
Lost control.
No worries. I got your back.
Advance assault kit.
The drop on you. Anyone going to help? Your team's capture progress is past the halfway point. More health is never bad. Get feeling fantastic.
Someone save me, please. Oh, God, I have nothing. I have nothing. I have nothing.
The area's almost yours. Never fail to impress me, Reed. More health is never bad. Watch your pace. They look like they mean business. Psionic first. We'll have to keep fighting until we have clear. Much better. Psionic first.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
In the hole.
Yay, we won. Okay, that's a sign. Oh, I played horrible though. We won because of Scarlet Witch. Shout out to her. Okay, I think I gotta wrap it up for today. But I got a lot of views. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys coming to tune in and watch me play, albeit horribly. This isn't my strong suit. I'm normally out here playing Infinity Nikki, so it is what it is. But I'm gonna close it off for today. I gotta head to bed, gotta get ready for work in the morning, but this has been great. This has been a really, really good stream. I am going to come back again next week on Friday and Sunday, same time roughly. I like to keep the window from like 8 p.m. to like 12 p.m. So I might come in a little bit later. I might come in a little bit earlier. I might end my stream a little bit later. I might end my stream like right at 12 p.m. It really just depends on when I come in. But I really do appreciate all of you guys for sticking around, for watching me. I will keep this VOD up, but I'll also try and clip it throughout the week as well if you guys are interested. And I'll have to get back into posting YouTube videos as well, like actual recorded and edited videos, because I have a lot of things I want to rant about that I don't have time, or I don't want to spend the energy ranting about on here. So I will be sure to do that as well. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning into my stream. Thank you so much for engaging with me. I really appreciate it. This is the most lively that my chat has ever been, and I'm very, very appreciated. I love you guys so much. We might do a cross stream next week. I don't know. I'm trying to get more followers on TikTok so I can at least cross stream on there. That looks promising, but cross streaming on Twitch is difficult. It's difficult. Like you really gotta put in that work. So I don't know if I'll cross stream on Twitch. We'll think about it, but I do love cross streaming on here so much. So with that in mind, I'm gonna close off my stream for today. I'd like to say thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye guys, love you.